All right. Good day, my dear viewers. How are you all doing today? I believe you're doing great wherever you are. So, let me take this back a little. So, my people, today we'll be talking about the sudden move of the governor of Delta State to tackle the insecurity, the rising insecurity in Delta State, which is being caused by the Olu of Itsekiri, Shola Emiko, and his Itsekiri elites. That is what we're going to talk about today. If you look at the caption on the broadcast, you will see what I've written there. Governor Sheriff Oborowori's sudden move to tackle the rising insecurity in Delta State, caused by the Olu of Itsekiri, Shola Emiko, and his Itsekiri elites, is long overdue. It is long overdue. Because we expect, Deltans expected the governor to act immediately. This insecurity and criminal activities started coming up incessantly. We expected Mr. Governor to act, but the governor allowed it, the whole thing, to deteriorate to the state that it's now starting to overwhelm the state. That is when he's coming out to say he wants to hold a security summit to tackle the insecurity in the state. I'm telling you that it's overdue. And I do not want to use the word that it's too late, because it is never too late to tackle security challenges. But I don't want to use that word. But for me, it is overdue. The governor sat on that seat, promised the people of Delta State to protect their lives and properties, which is the primary priority of every government. But yet, Sheriff Oborowori sat there in Asaba, turned a blind eye to the insecurity, the rising insecurity and criminal activities in Warri here, being perpetrated by the Olu of Itsekiri, Shola Emiko, and his Itsekiri elites, and across the states, across the 25 local governments of the state. Your Excellency kept quiet. And in one of my broadcasts, I said it. The reason why the governor had to keep quiet concerning the rising insecurity is because he's clearly scared, afraid of the Olu of Itsekiri, Shola Emiko. He's afraid of him. If he's not afraid of him, the governor would have acted immediately. Now, the security system in Delta State has deteriorated to the point that people cannot walk freely even during the day. In Warri here, people cannot walk freely because of these criminal activities of the Itsekiris, who have been attacking people left, right, center, especially the Jos and Urhobos of Warri Federal Constituency. So, Your Excellency, this your sudden move to tackle the rising insecurity in the state is long overdue, and for me, I'm saying that you're just doing it due to, or let's say, in order for you to get the support of the people in the coming election. That this is your campaign strategy. It is clearly a campaign strategy. Is it today you are learning about the insecurity in the state? Are you just hearing or learning about the insecurity, the rising insecurity in the state perpetrated by the Olu of Itsekiri? Are you just hearing about it? This issue have been on, and I have been screaming about it. I have been speaking about it day in, day out. I have been calling on you, Your Excellency, to tackle this rising insecurity in the state. These criminal activities that are being perpetrated by the Itsekiris in the state. I have been screaming about this, but you deliberately ignored all of my calls. You ignored my speeches on this matter. And now, just because elections are fast approaching, you are coming out to say you want to host a Delta State Security Summit. For what? For what? For what? This is it's overdue, and for me, it doesn't make sense. And as well, it should not make sense to Deltans, because a lot of Deltans are falling victim to the criminality of the Itsekiri people. A lot of Deltans are already falling victim. Look at Akota community in Baramatu Kingdom was burnt to the ground by the Itsekiris, And I spoke about it. I spoke about it. But what did the governor do? Nothing. Your Excellency kept quiet, acted as though he never saw anything about that community that was burned down by the Shekiris. I talked about the Liberty's case. How Liberty and his Shekiri syndicates were molesting people, raping women, kidnapping people, and killing people in Warri Federal Constituency and even in Sapele there. Your Excellency did not do anything. But eventually though, Liberty met his end in the hands of his own boys, his syndicates. So that issue has been addressed to an extent, thanks to the Sapele Police Division. Thanks to the Sapele Police Division. And when you take that aside, the Mancapolo's gun running issue is another very serious threat to the security and stability in Delta State. You cannot tackle the insecurity in the state without going to the source. Where is this insecurity coming from? You need to go to the source to tackle it. And the source in this context is the Olu of Itsekiri. It's the Olu of Itsekiri. This is not an hidden thing. You saw what the DSS did at Asaba. It was you, Your Excellency, that paraded the guns as well. Different brands of guns. Paraded them. Where was those guns being transported to? Warri. Who owned them? Olu of Itsekiri. You can imagine. And Mancapolo and his syndicates were caught red-handed in Asaba by the DSS. And then he was placed under the custody of the DSS, but was released on bail on conditions we don't know about. And as I speak to you, Mancapolo is walking free. After confessing that the Olu of Itsekiri, Shola Emiko, is the one who sponsored the purchase and the smuggling of those guns. The Olu of Itsekiri is still seated on his throne, as if nothing happened. And as a matter of fact, the other time they had the celebration, Your Excellency, you went to the palace. You went to the palace to embrace the Olu, as if he has not done anything. And today you are coming out to say you want to organize a security summit to tackle the insecurity in the state. Now today you wake up. Your Excellency, are you just waking up to the insecurity in the state? Are you just waking up? I know for a fact that you're doing this because of the elections that are coming. You're doing this is your political campaign strategy. It is your campaign strategy. What is happening in the north and in the northeast is what is almost happening in Delta State here. Under your watch. Your Excellency, under your watch, the Shekiris have been kidnapping the Jos and Robos of Warri Federal Constituency. Under your watch, they have been killing the Jos and Robos. Under your watch, they have been burning down our communities. Molesting our women and children. Under your watch. And now, after allowing all of these criminal activities to take place, you are suddenly coming out to say, you want to tackle insecurity in the state. And now you wake up. Your Excellency, are you just waking up? Are you just waking up? Why did you not tackle these issues at the beginning, where it was even more less difficult for you to handle? You allowed the system to deteriorate to this point, and then you suddenly come and say, I want to tackle the security challenges for the state. Which security challenges now you want to tackle? Just tell Deltans that you are doing this for your political ambition. Just tell them. Because Deltans are not fools. You sat on the fence when I was calling on you to act immediately to tackle the insecurity in the state. Look at the Shekiris. Recently, they boasted on national TV via press conference. They boasted publicly of owning guns, of possessing guns. Your Excellency, what did you do? If you sincerely wish to tackle the insecurity in the state, somebody like Alex Eyon should be in prison. Somebody like A.S. Mene should be in prison, and somebody like Robinson Ario should be in prison for coming out in the public to boast of owning guns. Guns that they intend to attack the Jos and Robos with of Warri Federal Constituency. Your Excellency, they should have been in prison if you really genuinely wanted to tackle the security challenges. It has gotten that bad. The Shekiri that perpetrated insecurity in the state to the point that they now come out in the open to boast about it. There was a time they had the organized one protest, and the Shekiri youth came out to boldly say that we Shekiri went up buy guns, we go kill the Jaws and robots for refinish. We went up buy guns. You can imagine such audacity in a state that is being governed by a governor. Under your watch, Your Excellency, you allow the security system to deteriorate to this point, and now you're coming out to suddenly want to address the issue because elections are fast approaching. Your Excellency, you cannot deceive Deltans. You cannot deceive Deltans. You cannot manipulate Deltans. You cannot manipulate us. Even though it is never too late to tackle security challenges, I'm telling you that this your sudden interest in tackling the insecurity in the state is a political strategy. A campaign strategy. It's a campaign strategy. Don't come here and start deceiving the Delta State people. Don't. When you hosted the Delta State Security Trust Fund, we were feeling like, Your Excellency is about to do something about the insecurity in the state now. Okay, since he has already organized a Delta State Security Trust Fund, okay, you do well, you order the security agencies in the state to tackle everywhere so that this insecurity will reduce. That was our plan, and a lot of contributions were made, donations were made in order to fund the Delta State Security Trust Fund for the operatives and the people who are managing it and the state government at large to have enough resources to man up the security in the state, to curb these criminal activities. After large donations were made into that Delta State Security Trust Fund, we still keep on seeing insecurity everywhere. People are being kidnapped everywhere. People are being killed, especially the Jaws and robots are being killed by the Shekiris. The Shekiris went to Odion Robo community and killed Jerry Adwara in cold blood before the president of the Nigerian Police Area Command. Jerry Adwara was killed on a day before the eyes of every other person. Insecurity. Look at the attacks on the people of Okere, the robots of Okere, by the Shekiris. Insecurity. The Shekiris also attacked the people of Adbasa. Insecurity. They have been kidnapping the Jaws and Ijaw men and women who went fishing, who go for fishing expeditions in that Shekiri River. They have been kidnapping them till this very minute. We are looking for some of them. We only found their boats, and the most important aspect of it is that we traced their boats to even Ode Shekiri. Some of their boats were tied in Ode Shekiri Gongon, which means that whoever attacked that person is from Ode Shekiri. But Your Excellency, I've been screaming about it. What have you done about it? Nothing. What have you done, Your Excellency, about it? Nothing. And now you're suddenly coming out to say, I want to tackle security for the state. Wait, I beg, Governor, go and sit down. Your Excellency, go and sit down. Pardon me for disrespecting you with this statement. But, Your Excellency, you are not doing anybody any good. You have allowed the security system to deteriorate to this point, and now you are suddenly coming out to say you want to arrange the security system because the elections they come. Deltans are not fools. Deltans are not fools, Your Excellency. Look for something reasonable to attend to, or look for another lie to persuade Deltans with, not this security issue. Look for another campaign strategy, not this one. I'm telling you, this one is dead on arrival. It is dead on arrival. That criminals could walk free in this state. Criminals who were caught with guns, AK-47s, brandy, machine guns, grenades and the rest, thousands of ammunition and the rest, caught red-handed by the security agencies, the Department of State Services, DSS, in Asaba where you reside, and were left, allowed to go free. And as I speak, these criminals are walking around still perpetrating more crime against the innocent Deltans. And you dare to come out today to say, I want tackle security. For where? Stop fooling the people, Your Excellency. If you truly wanted to tackle insecurity, by now the Olu of Itsekiri, Shola Emiko, should be in prison. Mike Apollo, while in the custody of the DSS, confessed that the Olu of Itsekiri, Shola Emiko, is the sponsor of those guns that he and his syndicate were trying to smuggle into the state. And that Collins Edema is the supervisor. You should have arrested these people. And if you go to the Olu of Itsekiri, we have been saying about it. I mean, we have been talking about it. The Olu of Itsekiri has a military group that is training in that his palace under the direct supervision of Collins Edema. A military group that is being trained by Mike Apollo on military combats. They are there. What have you done about it, Your Excellency? The Shekiris have been creating one illegal security outfit or the other. Then give it a name to place it under the umbrella of, okay, community security. We are securing our environment. These illegal security outfits they are establishing every day are meant to attack the jaws and robust of Warri Federal Constituency, Your Excellency. That is the purpose. There's nothing else anybody wants to say. That is the purpose. If you look at the Shekiri Kingdom now, the Shekiris have over 25 illegal security outfits. A single community has about 4 different security outfits in one just a Shekiri community. When the Orubo community came up with their own security outfit, I shouted about it. I called on you, Your Excellency, to tackle it. And all these illegal security personnel are holding guns. They are brandishing firearms, sophisticated and weapons. They are going about killing people, raping people, and attacking the innocent Deltans. All in the name of securing our community, securing our environment. Who is coming to attack them? Who is coming to attack them? Are the Fulani herdsmen operating here? Are the bandits operating here? That will warrant the Shekiris to constitute or establish different security outfits every single day? Are they at war with anybody? Are they at war? Don't we have the Nigerian police? Don't we have the DSS? Don't we have the Nigerian army and the navy? Don't we have the vigilante, the local security outfit, the vigilantes that goes into every nook and cranny of the state to tackle the security challenges? Don't we have all of these security apparatus in the state? Why must they constitute or establish their own individual security outfits? Why? Why? Now, if you look online, you see what a particular security outfit that calls themselves the Iwere Army, being led by that fool, that idiot, who was deported from Libya, that UP inspector, whatever he called himself. He is the commander of that Iwere security outfit. And if you look at his post, he has been inciting ethnic crisis in the states. He has led coordinated attacks on the jaws and robots of Warri Federal Constituency. I have been speaking about it, Your Excellency. You have not done anything. You allowed that issue to slide as if you are not seeing it. The so-called commander, UP inspector, he has been inciting ethnic conflict in Delta State. He has been deliberately and outrightly saying it, that he and his gang will attack the jaws and the robots of Warri Federal Constituency, and he has been doing that. He has done that in different occasions. And there was a time that he even came out to boast about it. Say, now we never deal with them. They say, now a small thing. Now we don't get them where they did. The videos are there. He was coming out to boast about attacking the jaws. Attacking the jaws. Coming out to boast about it. Your Excellency, where were you? Governor Sheriff of Oborowori, where were you? Where were you? Where were you when the likes of Yemi Otuedon came out in the public to boast of being a cultist? Being a cultist, where were you, Your Excellency? Where have you seen cultists come out in the public in a system that has security to boast of being a cultist? Where does it happen? Where does it happen, Your Excellency? Under your watch, the security system in Delta State has deteriorated to the barest minimum. Under your watch. And today you come about trying to organize a security summit for what? You are not concerned about the lives and properties of Deltans. Don't deceive us. Your Excellency, you and I know that you are not concerned about the lives and properties of Deltans. If we look at your statement last year or some time ago, you made the statement categorically that you cannot offend the Ijaw people, you don't want to offend the Urhobo people, you don't want to offend the Shekiri people, because you need our vote come 2027. And that if we want to fight, if the Ijaws, Urhobos and the Shekiris want to engage in any ethnic conflict, that they should hold on till after your tenure in 2031, then they can fight. That was the statement you made. And that statement alone shows to Deltans that you have no interest in protecting our lives and our properties. You have no interest. So don't come out today to make it look like you are concerned about our lives and properties. You are not concerned, Your Excellency. You are only doing this for your political ambition's sake. For the sake of your political ambition. For the sake of your political ambition, don't try to make it look like you are concerned about the security challenges in the state. Are you not aware? It is in this state, people now waving guns through motor parks. People waving guns through organized transportation lines. Where has this happened before, Your Excellency? That people will now waving guns, go to transportation service providers and start waving guns to different parts of the state. Where? Under your watch. Under your watch, Your Excellency. Criminals are no longer hiding their activities. Especially the Shekiri criminals. They are no longer hiding their activities. They are coming out to even publicly boast about it. They boast about it. And you sit there thinking you are not seeing anything. And your son on the other hand, Junior Sheriff Oborowori, Fred, is patronizing the same criminals by buying cars for these people who are behind the insecurity in the state. He's purchasing cars, different cars for them. All in the name of he's trying to empower the youth. Who empowers a criminal? Who empowers a criminal? And they're not innocent and well-to-do youth in the state. How many of the youth in the state has he empowered? The youth who have legitimate businesses, how many of them has he empowered? That he has to empower a known criminal, Yemi Otuedon, purchased a car for him from the monies that have been paid to the government by taxpayers, from our collective resources. He bought a car for Yemi Otuedon, a boy who came out in the public to confess and to even boast of being a cultist, a member of the Eye confraternity. He boasted about it in public. And the best thing your son decided to do was to patronize him with a car gift. Spending our state resources and taxpayers' monies to fund and to patronize a criminal is what your son did. And today you are coming out to tell us that you want to tackle insecurity. You are responsible for the insecurity in the state too, Your Excellency. You and your son, you are encouraging the insecurity in the state. Don't try to make it look like you are concerned about our lives and our properties. Don't try to make it look like that. We all know that you are doing this because of the elections that are fast approaching. You are doing this because of your political ambition to come back as governor of the state come 2027. That is why you are doing it. That is why you are doing it. And I can categorically tell you that the reason why you did not put the funds that were donated by good-spirited individuals in Delta State to action, the reason why you did not use those funds to mobilize the security personnel to address the security challenges in the state was because you want to use those funds for your governorship campaign, your re-election campaign. That is why you did not spend those monies on the security parastatals. You deliberately did not spend those money. You deliberately did not fund the security networks to curtail this insecurity in the state because you want to spend that money in your re-election campaign come 2027. And look at where we are now. Look at where it has landed us. Look at where it has landed us. You are coming out today to say the insecurity. You see, you will face it. You will face it, Your Excellency. You will face it. The guns that were apprehended by the DSS in Asaba that you personally paraded, you have not released the information of the owner to the Delta State people, even though we know that the Shekiris are behind it. They have been caught once, Makapolo, with guns. Makapolo was arrested and he confessed that the owner of Shekiri is behind it. But Makapolo was allowed to go free. He was allowed to go free. And the other one, the same people were caught with guns and you displayed them in Asaba. You made them public for Deltans to see different caliber of guns and ammunitions. You displayed them. But have you told the Delta State people, the owners of those guns, the people who wanted to use those guns to perpetrate evil in the state, don't we deserve to know as Deltans? Don't we deserve to know? Those guns were intended to be